I, Pallab Darbari, welcome you all in my Pallab Darbari classes. Today in this video, I will discuss the second chapter of Business Studies class 11th, that is forms of business organization. We will discuss today is sole proprietorship, features of sole proprietorship, and the merits and demerits of sole proprietorship. Before starting up the topic, we should know the meaning of business enterprise. The question, what is business enterprise? It is an institutional arrangement to carry out business activities. So what is business enterprise is? Institutional arrangement to carry out business activities. Open up the shop, manage the business of your own and carried out the business. Do the partnership with Chintu Mintu, open up the outlet and do the business. Form a company, arrange the money and start carrying out the business activities. In the business enterprises, what we have to do? We have to make arrangement which is needed for the business activities. In the case of sole proprietorship, what we have to do? We have to open up the shop, arrange the money, purchase the raw material, then start the business activities. In the case of partnership, what is happening? Make a partnership, open up the shop, purchase the material and carried out the business activities. Business enterprise, I hope, is clear to everyone. Let us see the classification of the business enterprise. Broadly, the business enterprise can be classified private enterprises, public enterprises, and joint stock enterprises. Under the private enterprises, we are having sole proprietorship, partnership, joint family business, joint stock company, cooperative societies. Under the joint sector enterprises, we are having departmental organizations, public corporations, government companies, and so on. We will discuss all these things in this chapter. We will discuss private enterprises. Under the private enterprises, these three topics we will discuss. In next chapter, we will discuss joint stock company and the cooperative societies. All these things we will discuss in detail. Now start sole proprietorship. Sole proprietorship means a business owned, financed and controlled by a single person. What it means? The type of the business in which one person, that is a sole proprietor, owned, he himself financed and he himself controlled the entire business organization. He himself bear the risk and he himself enjoy the profit. This type of the business, when a single person is owning, financed and controlled all the business activities, is called sole proprietorship. Is this suitable for every type of the business services? Answer is no. It is suitable in areas of personalized service. Where the personalized service is needed, sole proprietorship is the best option. For example, in the case of beauty parlor, sole proprietorship is the best option. Small scale activities like retail shop, sole proprietorship is the best option. In this picture, this is the picture of the sole proprietorship. This very person is the sole proprietor and they are the attendant, they are the servant, they are the helpers, helping hand. Let us discuss the features of sole proprietorship. The first feature of the sole proprietorship is single ownership. Listen, in the case of sole proprietorship, the business is managed, controlled and owned by a single person. He is the only person who will hire the premises. He is the only person who will arrange the money. He is the only person who will take the risk and he is the only person who will enjoy the fruits. So it is being owned by the single person. So single ownership is found in the sole proprietorship. Second, control. When I say control, it means all the decision related to the business or related with the business is taken by one person, that is sole proprietor. So in the case of sole proprietorship, sole proprietor take all the decisions relating to business activities. He will decide what to produce, he will decide the quantity, he will decide the type of the product, he will decide whether he will cut down the organization, he will decide whether he should open up the branch. Everything will be decided by him. The complete control is in his own hand. When I say single ownership, I repeat the same thing again. Single ownership means one individual is managing the entire organization. One single individual is controlling the business. He is the single person who is arranging the money, taking all the risk, enjoying all the fruits. Control, all the business decision is being taken by one individual, that is sole proprietor. The next is separate legal entity. Listen, in the case of sole proprietorship, the sole proprietor and the business, they are not the separate entity. Business is being recognized by the sole proprietor, and the sole proprietor is also being recognized by the business. The asset of the business belongs to the sole proprietor. In whatever the way he want to use the assets of the business, he can use it, he is free to use it. So there is no separation between the business and the sole proprietor. He cannot be separated from the sole proprietorship. Mostly it is being the shop is being recognized by the very name of the sole proprietor himself. The next is no unlimited liability. Liability means obligation. Listen, in the case of the sole proprietorship, the obligation is unlimited. When I say unlimited obligation, what it means? It means that if the business asset is not sufficient to meet out the business liabilities or business obligation, then the personal property of the proprietor can also be used to meet out the business obligation. In a very simple word, I try to explain it with an example. Suppose Mr. A has taken a loan from Punjab National Bank. What he has done, he has taken a loan from Punjab National Bank. At the time of making the payment, the financial condition of Mr. A is not good. He is not in the position to pay the bank loan. Firstly, all the business asset will be sold. After the liquidation of the business assets, the loan money cannot be meet out. I mean, more obligation is there on the sole proprietor. Then what will happen? His personal property will also be sold to pay the balance. When his personal property will also be touched to pay the business obligation, this is called unlimited liability. So in the case of sole proprietorship, the liability of the sole proprietor is unlimited. Next is business risk. Since one sole proprietorship, single ownership is there, complete control is in the hand of the sole proprietor. So he is the only person who takes all the risk. Because he is the only person taking all the decisions relating with the business, so he will be the only person who will bear all the risk. If anything goes wrong, if the business suffers a loss, that he is the only person who will suffer the loss, face the consequences. Next is no legal formality. To open up the business, no legal formality is needed. At any time, if the businessman want to shut down the organization, he can shut down. So legal formality is zero, very limited legal formality is there. So legal formality is for the namesake only. Let us discuss all these points in detail. The first is single ownership. It is wholly owned by one individual. Control. Sole proprietor has full control of decision making. Whatever the decision he want to take, he is free to take. No person will poke the nose. No person will interfere in his decision. Next is no separate legal entity. It means that the business is being recognized by the sole proprietor. I mean, so business and the sole proprietor, they are no different entity. They are same. Unlimited liability. The liability of the owner is unlimited. In case the assets of the business are not sufficient to meet the debt, then the personal property can also be used to pay the debts. No legal formalities No, not required to start, manage and dissolve the business. Formality is zero. I repeat the same thing. If the businessman want to open up the business, I mean, he can open up at any time without legal formality. And if he want to shut down the organization, he can shut down the organization without legal formality as well. So we can say no legal formality is involved. Next is no sole risk bearer and profits recipient. It means he is the only person, so the complete risk is borne by the same person. Let us discuss the merits of sole proprietorship. First is easy to start. Listen, sole proprietorship can easily be start at any time. The only thing which he has to do is to hire a place, arrange the money. With these two things, he can start the business. With the money, definitely he purchase the material, he will purchase the goods. But the only thing here is needed is arrange place and the finance. I mean, legal formality is zero. At any time he can start, and if he feel that he is totally unable to run the organization, that at any time he can shut down the organization. He don't have to take the permission from the government that can I shut down the organization. I mean, of his own he can decide, and of his own he can open up the organization, and of his own he can close the organization. Second merit is quick decision. The business is totally managed and controlled by a single individual, so he don't have to take the permission from anyone because he is the only person in the business. So he can take the quick decision. The decision get delayed when for every decision or before every decision we have to conduct the meeting, and then we have to wait for the results of the meeting to come. So here the decision is being taken by one individual, so he can take the decision in toto, fraction of a second. The next is sense of accomplishment. Listen, in the case of sole proprietorship, the person feels self-motivated. Why I say self-motivated? Because whatever the efforts I put in the organization, I will be happy. Why? Because whatever the contribution I'll make, all the profit will be enjoyed by me. If I work very hard, definitely I'll taste the nectar. So I feel very happy. I feel self-satisfied कि जो किया बढ़िया है. The next is unlimited liability. The next is secrecy. Listen, in the case of partnership, the secrecy of the partners will be the secrecy of the partnership will be between two people, A and B, or maybe three or four. In the case of the company, the secrecy will be among the board of directors. So the chances of leakage is more when the number of people are more. In the case of sole proprietorship, only one person is there who is taking all the decision and who is, I mean, who is supposed to enjoy the fruits. So in the case of the sole proprietorship, the secrecy is 100%. He can restore the secrecy. Why? Because he will not supposed to deliver the information relating to business with anyone. Next is no legal formalities. I mean, at the time of opening up or at the time of shutdown, the legal formalities are zero. Government intervention is minimum, bare minimum. The next is profit sharing. This is totally run by one individual, so all the profit goes in the hands of one individual, that is sole proprietor. All these points. Let us see the first merit, easy to start and close. We have seen it can be easily started and closed without any legal formalities. Second is quick decisions, as sole trader is not required to consult or inform anybody about his decision, so he can take the decision quickly. Next is sense of accomplishment. There is sense of personal satisfaction. What is personal satisfaction? I'm getting the fruits of my efforts. If I'm working very hard, I'm very happy. Why? Because I'm getting the good return. So self-satisfaction is there. Next is unlimited liability. The next is secrecy. Whatever the decision he is taking, whatever the decision he want to take, it will be within himself. And we know that the success of every business totally depends upon the secrecy. So secrecy is preserved over here. Next is no legal formality. No legal formalities are required to start, manage and dissolve such business organization. Next is profit recipient. He bears the complete risk and there is nobody to share profit or loss with him. So he is the only person who enjoy the fruits of the business. See the demerits. The first demerit is limited financial resources. Listen, in the case of sole proprietorship, one individual is there. He is having the limited contact. So with the limited contact, he can arrange the limited money. Second is managerial ability. One individual can't manage everything. Either he can concentrate in the production or he will concentrate in the consumer satisfaction, selling the product. So there is always be a problem of managerial efficiency. Next is unlimited liability. If the personal property, if the business asset is not sufficient to meet out the business obligation, then his personal property will be sold. Next is uncertain life. If anything goes wrong to him, if he become insane, if he die, then what will happen? The business will shut down. So the business is encircling around him. Next is limited scope of expansion. One individual is managing the entire business. He is having the limitation, so he can't think of expanding the business. Why? Because at a time he can't manage the expanded business. Now let us discuss all the limitations. The first is limited financial resources. The funds are limited to the owner's personal savings and his personal borrowings. Second is limited managerial ability. Sole trader cannot be good in all aspect of business and he cannot afford to employ experts also. Next is unlimited liability. Of course, sole trader compels him to avoid risk and bold business decisions. Why? Because if anything goes wrong, then his personal asset will be seized, and you don't want that his personal properties will be seized and he should be on the road. The next is uncertain life. Death, insolvency, lunacy, or illness of the proprietor affect the business and can lead to its closure. Next is limited scope for expansion due to limited capital and managerial skill. It cannot expand a large scale. Why? Because limited managerial ability is there. He can't manage a big business house. The suitability. The sole tradership is suitable where the personal attention to consumer is required. Tailoring, personal attention to the consumer is needed. Beauty parlor, personal attention to the consumer is needed. So sole proprietor is the best option where the personal attention to the consumer is required. Next is where goods are unstandardized. When we are manufacturing the goods on demand, it means that the goods are unstandardized. So sole proprietor is the best option. Next is modest capital and limited managerial skill. Where the limited managerial skill is needed, where the less capital is being needed, there sole proprietorship is the best option. Last one, where the business risk is extensive, that is less fluctuation in price and demand is there, then sole proprietorship is the best option. That's all we have in this video. Thanks for watching. God bless you all.